Hey everybody, John McCarra here. I think this is the first full Sixers Smack Talk episode where it's only going to be talking about the Sixers. Um, I'm going to go through every player, what I think their statistics are going to be, um, where they're going to finish in the East, what they're going to do in the playoffs, um, who I think are actual bums, who I think is going to be better than we think, blah blah blah. Let's get the elephant out of the room, or talk about the elephant in the room. Ben Simmons hit a three in preseason. It was gorgeous. I was in the building, but I actually missed it. I was walking through the concourse, and everyone started cheering and crying like we won a playoff series. Um, and I said, if Ben Simmons made a three, I'm gonna be really fucking mad. And I asked my friend, I said, did Ben hit a three? And he said, yep, you missed it. So, yeah, fuck my life. But he did it, and I think we'll start with Ben Simmons, our starting point guard, Ben Simmons. Um, I think that he will. His statistics this year will be 18.4 points. I think that's his career high in points. Um, 8.9 rebounds, 8.5 assists, one steal, one point like four probably steals, and about almost a block a game. 54% from the field, um, because most of his shots still will come in the paint. But I think he's going to shoot some mid ranges. I think he's going to shoot some threes. I think he's going to shoot. I think his free throw percentage will be raised a couple points. I'm thinking 66, 67%. Um, his threes are not going to be. He's not going to shoot a good percentage of threes. I think for every four he takes, he'll make one. So I'm thinking 25 to 27% from three. But I think he makes about 8 or 9 threes this year, which means he's taking them. You know, what's that? If he shoots 25% from three and he shoots 8 threes, that's fucking 40. No. That's not 40 shots. Is that 40 shots? Or is that 36 threes? It is about 36 threes I think he'll take this year. And he'll make 8 or 9 of them. I think he's going to be third All NBA. And I think he's going to be second All Team defense. I think his defense was shown how good it was in the playoffs last year. I think he's only going to get better at that. Um, what's his name? Kawhi Leonard was just absolutely unstoppable. It didn't matter who was guarding him, so you can't really fault Ben for that. Um, I mean, you can if you want, but you'd be stupid. So yeah, that's Ben Simmons. He's gonna make an All NBA team this year. Well, third All NBA team, second All Defense. I think he's gonna be one of the best point guards in the league this year. He's probably the second best all around in the East. Just off the top of my head, I have Kyrie's probably number one. Um, who else is? I don't even know who else is in the East right now. Oladipo's out for the year, or not out for the year, but he's out for a little while. There ain't too many guards better than Ben, especially if he starts shooting this year. I think people are going to, be blown away. Plus, his defense is going to be incredible. So yeah, second, shooting guard Josh Richardson. I'm not going to take as long. I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk a lot about Ben and Joel and Al Horford. I'm an Al Horford appreciator. But Josh Richardson's a really nice pickup. At first, I was like, I wanted to pick as well with that Jimmy Butler trade. But when you realize we were going to get nothing in return at all, if he just left. So, but I'm happy with Josh. I think he's going to be pretty good. I'm thinking he scored about 16 and a half points last year. I think he's going to have a slightly different role. He's not going to be. He's going to probably be the fourth option on this offense. So I'm thinking 13 and a half points, 2.5 rebounds, four and something assists, Um, 1.5 steals and about half a block. Maybe a little less than half a block. 47% from the field, which is a lot better than he did all year, but he's going to be getting better shots. He's not going to be having to do as much on our offense as he did. I think 35% from three. I think he'll be about league average, maybe slightly a little bit better. And he's a good free throw shooter, so 85%. I think I put like little secondary notes besides their statistics. I think he's going to be playing a good amount of backup point guard, which might bump up his assists a bit, and maybe we'll put his scoring back up to 14 something. But I'm going to stick with 13. I think especially when the playoffs come and they shorten the bench. You ain't going to be seeing a lot of Trey Burke, who can't really play defense and he's kind of slow. And you're not going to be seeing a lot of Raul Neto. You'll see some of them, a little bit, but we don't need that kind of stuff in the playoffs. We need our starters to really play most of the minutes. So, but regular season, I'll talk about it. Next up is small forward / power forward Tobias Harris. I think he's going to have a lot better season with the Sixers than he did last year. Obviously, his Clippers numbers are great. All-star level, pretty much. Kind of fell off a bit with the Sixers, but he had to play fourth fiddle. And this year he's going to be second or third scoring option. He's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more. So I'm thinking a solid 18.5 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists probably, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less. He's not known as a great defender, but he'll get maybe a half a steal a game and maybe like 0.6 blocks a game. Just because some small forwards are kind of shooting guards, and if he's going to be guarding the 3, I think he'll be okay at it. I don't think he's going to be great at it. 49% from the field, 38% from 3, 85% from free throw. Did I do that with Josh? Yeah, I did that with Josh. I think, so one of the tidbits for him, I think he's going to hit some game winners this year. I think he's going to hit 3 game winners. And I don't mean Jimmy Butler step back 3 for the absolute win, game over. But I'm thinking he's going to get that last bucket that puts us up a point or 2, or maybe just puts the nail in the coffin. I'm thinking 3 to 5 times he'll put the nail in the coffin for us. Especially there's going to be some games Bede's not playing, which I'll talk about in a minute. So yeah, I think Toby has a really nice year. I'm excited to see a full year of him because he was really fucking good on the Clippers, and I think we'll get some of that. It's a little bit less of a role, but all right, Al Horford. I'm an Al Horford appreciator, like I said. I'm thinking he's gonna have his normal 12 and 8. I think he's gonna 3.5 assists, maybe less than that, probably less than that, because he won't have the ball too much. But he's a good passer out of the post. He makes the right pass all the time, which is one of my notes. 100% makes the right pass. Probably almost a steal a game. Probably about a block a game, maybe a little bit more, because he's a really good defender. Probably a block and a half. But you know what though? You can't have a team average and like fucking, you'll see my Embiid thing, but we'll say a block and a half. He'll shoot 50% from the field. I don't know his previous numbers, but it seems like he never missed with us. So I'm thinking 50% from the field, 35% from 3, 77% from the line. I think he's going to start at center for 10 games, about 10 games, because I think Embiid's going to probably get some rests. Maybe he'll get like some kind of like knee little thing, nothing serious. I don't think Embiid gets, knock on wood, I don't think he gets a serious injury this year. I can't believe I just said that. It makes me so nervous. But speaking of Joel Embiid, this man is going to have a monster year. I'm thinking 28.5 points a game, 13 rebounds a game, 3 assists a game, almost a full steal a game, I'm thinking 2.3, 2.5 blocks. I think he's gonna destroy everything. The guy that stuck with him the most was Horford. Horford's not going to be guarding him on the Celtics. He's going to destroy Cantor. He's going to destroy Brook Lopez. He's angry this year. He's going to destroy Gasol. He is upset. I think almost 50% from the field, 31% from three, which is almost about his. That's a little bit up from his average, but I think he's been working on his game. 83% from the line. I think he's going to be shooting less threes, and he's going to be in the paint more. You got Horford spacing. Ben might be shooting threes. Ben might shoot like a half a three a game. You know what I mean? It's like every 2 games he might pull up from three, which is fun to even think about. Maybe not. Maybe every 4th game he'll shoot a three. I still think he makes about 8 this year. Either way. So I think Embiid wins Defensive Player of the Year. 2.2 blocks, steal a game. 13, maybe 13 and a half rebounds. The only reason I'm saying 13, I think he'd get a lot more, but Horford's a good rebounder, Harris is a good rebounder, and Ben's a good rebounder. So, I mean, everyone in that lineup can, I think even what's his name can kind of get some boards, but I don't really know too much about Josh Richardson's game besides every time we played him on the Heat. So yeah, I think Embiid is Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's 3rd place in MVP voting. I don't even know. I think if the Warriors are really, or if the Warriors are better than we think, I think Curry will get some noms. I mean the Lakers are probably going to be pretty good. LeBron will be up there. Hey, but oh god, I'm so sleepy. But yeah, Embiid, and I think he's first team All-NBA and first in Team D. I think he's a top 3 MVP guy. Who else? Giannis will probably win it again. Maybe Harden. But he's going to be the best center in the league by far. Best center since I can't even think of somebody. I mean, not as far back. Probably the best center since when Dwight was like Dwight Howard. So yeah. So we'll go to 6-man. It's kind of hard to. So I think James Ennis is going to basically play the most minutes off the bench just because he's a solid wing defender. He can handle the ball a little bit. He could do pretty much everything at a good level, not a great level. I think he's going to have 11 points a game, 3 rebounds, almost 3 assists, almost like more than half a steal a game. Maybe a quarter of a block a game. 46, 36, 77. Solid off the bench. He's going to play some good. Really, he's going to play a lot of playoff minutes like he did last year. So, yeah, I think right next to him is Mike Scott. So, Mike Scott is probably one of my favorite guys on the team. If not, he's like top 3 favorite. 4. Because I really am starting to like Ben Simmons a lot more than I did. But I think he scores 9 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, 2 assists a game, about a half a block, quarter of a steal, 47% from the field, 35 from 3, 75 from the line. So my tidbit on him is I think he gets in 2 fights this year, non-playoffs. Maybe another fight in the playoffs, but I think he's going to use his fouls. He's going to hit some big shots. And hopefully he slaps the hardwood like he said he would on the live Ricky Sanchez podcast. Yeah, I like Mike Scott a whole bunch. I think he's the second guy off the bench. First guy off the bench in some situations. Second guy off the bench. He might start maybe a game or two, too, when Embiid's not playing. So, yeah. So, the third guy off the bench, it's not a guard. I guess he's a guard. He's not a point guard. Is Matisse Thybulle. I'm just blown away by Matisse in preseason. Especially the last game. Today is October 16th. So yesterday's preseason game against, not the Magic, against Detroit. He leads the league in as of right now, he leads the league in steals in the preseason out of anybody. So I think he's going to have a really solid rookie year this year off the bench. He reminds me a lot of like Danny Green a little bit. I don't think he's as good as a shooter, but he might be a better defender. So I'm thinking 7 just off the bench, and I think it's going to start slow for him because I think they're going to try and see what they have in Zaire, which I will talk about too, and they're going to play some Shake, and Korkmaz is going to get some minutes in the very beginning, but I think his numbers will go on. So I think by the time the season ends, he'll be scoring more like 8-9 points a game. But I think overall he'll have 7 points a game. Where's he at? 7 points a game, 2 rebounds, 1.5, 2 assists, almost like 0.7 steals a game. And like I said, he's gonna have games where he probably has 2 a game. Half a block. He's blocking people. He's fucking really good, this kid. 43% from the field, 34% from 3, 76% from the line. He's going to be the best wing defender for a rookie in the league. And I think he makes second all-team rookie. So let's talk about... Who's next? Let's talk about Trey Burke. I think Trey Burke is going to, out of all the point guards, probably play most of the minutes because he can get you a basket when you need it. Some games he's going to look great. Some games he's going to be like, why is he taking this fucking shot? I think he scores 8 points a game. Has almost a rebound a game, maybe a rebound a game. 3 assists, 0.4 steals. I don't think he gets any blocks at all this year. He's a small guy. 43% from the field, 33% from 3. 81% from the free throw line. I think he splits some time. I think some games you play him, some games you play Raul Neto. Because Trey Burke can get you a basket, but doesn't play defense and he's kind of slow. And sometimes you'll be like, what kind of shots are you taking? We'll talk about Raul Neto next. I think he's a good defender. I think Brown will use him when there's guard heavy. When it's a guard-heavy bench and you need a guard defender, I think, like I said, he'll split games with Burke. I don't think you're going to see them playing the same game too much unless Ben gets into foul trouble or something. There's not a lot of minutes for most of these guys, and I think Matisse is going to outplay all the guards on the bench, and he's going to be playing some small forward too, but he's also going to outplay Furkan, and I think it's going to be him and Ennis going to be your wing defenders in the playoffs, with a sprinkle of Neto and Burke. They'll be your bench, but they shorten the bench. So, like I said, Raul 5 points a game, almost a board a game, 2 assists, 48% from the field, 34 from 3, 80% from the line. Splits games with Burke. Let's talk about Zaire Smith. I don't think he's going to play a lot after the beginning of the season, unless it's at the end of the game. I think he's going to be a project. They're not going to give up on him. I don't want to give up on him, like a couple people I'm going to talk about. But yeah, I think he's going to end up playing more towards the end of the season. I think he's going to actually maybe get some more minutes. He's going to get some minutes in the beginning. Then when shit gets real in the season, he's not going to play a lot. And then I think he's going to start playing better and better and better. And he's going to deserve some minutes towards the end. And he's going to have to, obviously, there's going to be games. If there's injuries, he can play. He's a decent defender. He's extremely athletic. I think he ends up scoring 4.5 points a game, 2 rebounds, an assist and a half, 0.5 steals, 0.3 blocks. He can get up there though, I'm telling you. And I think he's gonna be pretty good. Eventually. Might be like a Gerald Green type. Maybe a little bit better. Like a rich man's Gerald Green. now though. I mean, Gerald Green used to be. He could jump over the fucking court, like the rim. He was ridiculous. But I think I think Smith will be a better version of him than he is now. Eventually, he'll I already said what he does. I don't think he's gonna play a lot. Where are we at? My throat feels really weird today for some reason. Maybe it's just green tea. All right, let's talk about Furkan Korkmaz. 4 points a game, 1-1, 0.2 steals, 0.1 block. He'll probably have one block his whole the whole season. 41% from the field, 32% from three, 78% from the line. I don't think he plays too much. I think he gets outplayed by Matisse. I think he gets outworked by Zaire. He can handle the ball a little bit, but I don't know. I haven't seen him play well since really well since that one game in Summer League. Was it this year or last year? I don't have no faith in him. I think he might get even traded. There's just too many minutes allocated to other guards that are better than him. Guards and small forwards that are better than him. He can't play the four. Yeah, I think they're going to try and get him going. I just don't think it's going to work. And they almost gave up on him this year. I don't remember. I think he was on I know that they didn't pick up his option when they were supposed to, and then they re-signed him to a whatever deal. But yeah, I think he'll score 4 points a game inefficiently when he plays. Yeah, and I like him, but it might be time to move on. Now, probably my favorite guy on the bench, or one of them, I've been wanting him for years, Mr. Kyle O'Quinn. I think before we got Horford and Mike Scott, even though Mike Scott's more of a 4, but he's going to be playing some big small ball 5. I think Kyle O'Quinn was and is a great backup for Embiid. He can pass his ass off. I don't know if anyone's watching this preseason, but he is leading the team in assists. He's ridiculous in the post. I love post passing. I think it's so underrated. I think having him helps Embiid because Kyle O'Quinn can play some tough minutes. He's going to use his fouls. He's a big boy. I think he plays. I think he plays a good amount of games this year. There might be some coach decisions not to play this year, and that's because you have Horford. It might be a small ball lineup that you need. You need Scott to play the 5 a lot, and Kyle O'Quinn cannot play the 4. He's a center, but I love him. I think he 5 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, almost a quarter of a steal a game, and over a half a block a game. He has the best smile on the team, and I think he's going to flirt with a triple-double a couple times this season. I'm dead serious. I think games that Embiid don't play, I think Embiid will probably rest 8 to 10 games, and you have him coming off the bench or even starting if you want to keep Horford at the 4. I would start Horford at the 5, move Toby up, probably put Matisse in when Embiid's not playing, or even Ennis. Ennis is a pretty good player, but I love Kyle O'Quinn a lot. Happy he's here. Shake Milton, they signed him to a 4-year contract. I don't know why. He never showed me anything. Still hasn't. I think he's playing okay in preseason, but not too good. So I think he'll score 3.3 points this year, 1 board, 1 assist, 0.3 steals, 0.1 block, whatever. He's not going to play a lot. It's going to be trash time minutes. Hopefully there's a lot of trash time minutes and he gets his numbers up. But they are going to give him a shot because they have him for 4 years. And maybe he's a project, but I think he's old. Or older. I think he's 22 or 23. So I don't know how much more maturing he's going to do. Alright, last but not least, I know this is a long video. I hope you guys are enjoying it because I love talking about the Sixers. message me or comment. We'll chat. But Bolden, I don't like him. I think he's kind of a bum. I think he'll score 1 point a game, .7 rebounds a game, .1 or .2 assists. Half a block a game though. I think he'll block some shit by accident, and maybe he'll get 1 steal every 10 games or something. He's not going to play a lot. I hope he gets traded because my tidbit for him is I think he'll have more fouls than points. He'll average more fouls than points this year. So that's it. That's the team run through. I'm very excited for this team this year. I think they're going to the finals. They'll be a top 5 team on defense, probably top 3. They'll be a top 10 team on offense. I think Embiid, runner-up or third place MVP. I think he's Defensive Player of the Year. Simmons is a top 5, top 7 point guard this year, and only getting better. They're going to be a top 2 seed in the East. Maybe number 1, maybe number 2, depending on Embiid's health. I think they win the Eastern Conference this year, and I think they lose to the Clippers in the finals, which makes me very sad. But the Clippers just are something else. But thank you so much for watching. If you did watch, if you didn't watch, I hope you do watch eventually. Final record 58-24 for the Sixers this year. So excited. I work there, so I'll be watching every live game. So yeah, thank you. This has been Sixers Smack Talk. Like and subscribe. Love and hip hop.